Hi guys, let's get into a reading. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your subscribes, and to those of you who have booked a personal reading with me, please keep in mind that these are general messages, so do not take them personally. Take the messages that resonate and leave the rest behind. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can find that information in the description box below. Let's get into it. What message do you have for the collective at this time? Help me to articulate a clear and concise message in order for it to be received in the way that you want it to best be received. Help me to see what it is that I need to see to get the message across as clear as possible. And help me to deliver any messages that you deem worthy in order to serve your highest good, for the highest good of humanity with harm to none. What messages do you have for the collective at this time? What messages do you have for the collective at this time? Okay. There's a strong message here of you needing to honor yourself with rest, right? It seems as if you are in this energy of production, creation, commit to happiness, right? You're in this energy of creation, which means you're giving life to many things at once, which also means that there are many responsibilities and many things on your plate at the time. So you're giving, going, but you are having a lot of output and you're not necessarily being mindful of the input that you're giving to yourself to help with the output you're giving. Right. So the message here is to just be more mindful about how you're taking care of yourself in this moment, right? It's we're at the time of the year where things are getting ready to start picking up, right? Summer break is, if not already over, is coming close to the end for some of you. So it is, things are getting ready to pick up in this next phase. And so there is a need for you to be mindful about what you are, how you're giving to yourself, right? What kind of foods are you eating, right? How are you speaking to yourself in this moment? How are you treating yourself in moments where your body, your mind, or your spirit just feels tired, right? Are you allowing yourself the space and the time to release, right? And not to necessarily give, but to release the extra energy that you're carrying, the extra burdens that you're carrying, the extra mental load, having to overthink all of the time with so many responsibilities on your plate. Like, how are you treating yourself in these moments? What kind of foods are you giving yourself, right? How often are you feeding yourself during those days? What kind of things are you consuming? Like, are you drinking? Are you drinking more water? Are you drinking more sugary things? Like, paying more attention to how you're taking care and nurturing yourself in this moment, right? Rest is also a part of production, right? Because in order to keep creating, you have to give yourself, your body, time to regenerate itself, right? You can't create life from a source that isn't fulfilled with life itself. So definitely spend more time not just sleeping, but actually resting, right? Thinking of ways to slow yourself down, right? You don't always have to be in go mode, right? Because in moments where you are thinking too quickly, you're acting too quickly, you don't give yourself the space and time to process what is happening in the moment. Therefore, you don't give yourself the space to perceive possible outcomes, right? And so you don't necessarily need to overthink those things, no, but you do need to give yourself the space and time to receive, right? So sitting in meditation, spending time nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself, resting, pouring back into yourself. Surrounding yourself around things that give life to you, give meaning to you. Let's do some clarification. Clarify meditation. Two of Swords and the Four of Wands. With the Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Clarify the Four of Wands. The Knight of Cups. This is like something is coming in for you that will show you a different side of yourself, right? It's almost as if it will provide us, it will put a spotlight on parts of yourself that make you feel vulnerable. Is giving like subconscious energy with the Devil here underneath. And then we had the Queen of Swords here was at the bottom of the deck a second ago. Then I reshuffled and the Devil is now at the bottom of the deck. So this is something that refers to like your fears, things that you may have experienced that you have okay, I'm gonna share something because it seems relevant. Um I don't want to share it because it seems embarrassing, but that is also like kind of the frequency of the message. So I was taking my dog out and we walk up and down this hill literally every single day. And I usually have pants on when we go up the hill just because I usually just throw pants on when I go out to take her out. Tonight, when I went to take her out, we get up the hill very fine. Coming down the hill, one of my neighbors is sitting in their car with the headlights on. We get down the hill. I literally get right in front of their headlights and slide down the hill on both of my knees. On gravel, mind you. Where I'm sliding on gravel. Now, this isn't something that like she wasn't like it was just a normal walk. And so I'm not sure, like, I didn't trip on anything. It quite literally was like the moment I got in front of their headlights, I just hit my knees and slid down the hill. And so it's almost as if like something it's almost like something about you being in a vulnerable state is going to like it's like almost your fears or something that you feel shameful about is going to be put in the spotlight. And it's not necessarily to embarrass you. It's not necessarily to bring you any harm, but it's so that you can be more intentional about how you care for these wounds, about how you nurture these wounds, about how you uh, pay attention to them, right? Because it's almost as if like you're very and that too is like what I got from it. Like you're very comfortable moving in the shadows. You're very comfortable like uh learning how to process and how to um navigate your shadow self, right? Your subconscious. You're aware of how to process them. But because you don't allow other people, right, to see them, this doesn't necessarily mean everybody. It could just be like, one person or a few people, a handful of people, somebody that you feel closest to, allowing them to see the parts of yourself that you keep hidden. Right. So again, this can refer to things that have happened in your past. This can refer to addictions that you may have. This can refer to things that make you feel depressed or sad or down. This can refer to things that make you feel anxious. This can talk about things that you have experienced and in certain relationships, connections. This can talk about things that you things that have it's almost talking about the journey you have taken, the things that you have experienced that have led you to the point where you are on your journey. There's something about the way that you, because now I'm getting very emotional. There's something about the way that you navigate, the way that you create from that space of your subconscious, right? You're able to give life to many things. You're able to nurture many things. You're able to handle many things, right? You're able to kind of discern and see the truth in many things. But this is also allowing someone to mirror that same reflection back to you, right? Because it could be to the point where you're so comfortable navigating darkness in your own space that you easily spot it within other people, other situations, right? You're very discerning in a sense where you read very thoroughly and very deeply, very quickly. And so this is kind of being mirrored to you, right? Where you might be the one who always has the vision. You may be the one who always has the ability to see through the unseen or know in the unknown, right? You have a certain wisdom about yourself. This is going to be reflected back to you, right? And again, it's not to put you in a place of embarrassment, but it's to allow someone else to see you the way that you have the ability to see others, right? Okay. It definitely gives you are stepping into a place where you're going to have to be more comfortable sharing that side of yourself as opposed to being the only one to navigate that part of yourself by yourself, right? You're definitely entering into a space where you for sure are going to have to be more comfortable allowing. And I don't know if it's one person, if it's a group of people, if it's just in general you learning to be comfortable sharing those parts of yourself. Because I mean, if nobody saw that, that's probably not a story that I would share, right? But it felt very relevant. It felt very relevant to the message. And immediately, like in the moment that it happened, I'm like, okay, what the hell is going on? But like as I like got in the house and I was kind of like cleaning myself up, it definitely came through as like a message. Why it had to be so dramatic, I don't know. But nonetheless, we are alive and well. But yes, so there's definitely a spotlight that is going is going to be shown. It's just going to be more, and I don't know if it's going to naturally be more um visible, or if it's going to be something that it could be both. You yourself are going to have to be more comfortable um sharing. Right? Let's clarify give back. Strength, yeah. Strength and the Fool is going to be something that you're going to have to work through, right? Because it may be that even if it's not something that you the Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck. How can I put this into words? This is going to be a new level of vulnerability for you, right? This is going to be a new level of openness for you. You may be the kind of person who navigates things by yourself, right? You navigate your emotions, this is a very independent energy. So you may be someone who just kind of walks through life in the strength of your own devices, right? Your own decisions. You don't necessarily experience checks and balances in your life because you don't necessarily have other people to consider. And that doesn't mean there aren't other people in your life you don't care about. It just means that the way that you live your life is strictly for you in this moment, right? Whether that's, the decisions that you make, it can be on any level, right? This is a general message, so take it how it resonates. But it seems as if this is going to be a new level of strength for you. You're going to have to develop a new level of confidence in this area because you may have confidence and strength and ability to work through things yourself, right? To learn through them, to move through certain things. It's almost like you kind of know how to tuck it and move forward. And that it I don't want to say it keeps you motivated in a sense, but you remain uh driven no matter what tries to bring you down. But there's a reflection happening, there's a mirroring energy happening where life is taking you in a new direction. And this is something that you manifested, right? Because again, you may have just always yearned to be loved and to be seen and to be felt and to be experienced the same way you do for others, in the same provision that you have for others. And it's coming in, but there's definitely going to be some shifts and some transformation that is going to be required of you in this new phase. It's going to require a new level of opening up for you. It's going to require a new level of processing for you, because it may be that you have experienced things and you've processed that it's happened, or let me rephrase that. You may have acknowledged that those things happen, right? That you experienced certain things, that you went through certain trials and challenges, right? But you may not have processed the severity of what you have experienced as a way for you to keep going, right? Because it's almost as if, like, if you sit with it too much, you may no longer have clarity about which direction to go. So you don't let it cloud your judgment in that way. You acknowledge it, you feel in that moment what it does to you, and then you move on. And that's partially processing it. But after you experience it in that moment, it just becomes a driving force. And you don't actually heal it, because you don't actually look at it again once you've put it. It's almost like once you filed it away in that corner of your mind, you don't look at it again. And that has been your way of coping. And this new life that you're in, this new cycle that you're in, it's going to require you to look through those hidden files, to acknowledge, to reread, to process. Which also may mean that in some ways you may relive it. But reliving it will not be to your detriment if you don't let it, right? Because the Four of Wands here also tells me that there's a mirror. So uh there's a support system that is going to help you and require you to kind of move through this, which will also be a lesson for you. Learning how to receive support, learning how to experience the nurturing, the care, the perspective, the acknowledgement, the strength. It's almost like you provide a soft space for others to land on. And now it's time for you to receive those same efforts. So there is going to be some growing pains in that area, because if you've been moving by yourself for so long, independently. There's a strong independent sense here, right? The strength in the fool, there is like a strong sense of just like it may have just been you traveling this journey by yourself up until this point. It's just you and like your spirit guides, your ancestors, right? God. It's just been you and whatever spiritual connection you have to right, as someone who is kind of lighting the pathway for yourself. And in this new cycle that you're in, right? Even if right now it may seem like you're in this liminal space where you're not where you used to be, but you haven't quite taken the step towards the journey of where you're meant to go. It's kind of like you're in this liminal space, right? Where you're in the balance of being between two worlds. But there's so much movement happening in that liminal space, right? There's so many pieces that are aligning themselves uh to support you on this next part of your journey. And that may be why you are in this space, right? Between two worlds, because you are not meant to take this next phase by yourself. And so while you may be ready, God is kind of holding you in this space to to properly align your support system to be able to move with you. Does that make sense? And so you're going to have it's going to be a learning process for you to have to learn how to communicate, for you to have to learn how to check in, not necessarily uh in a sense of like you losing your independence, but more so in the sense of you having to be responsible for keeping your support system in the loop of your health status, right? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, right? You because and it's also as if like in that same effort they're going to make it their responsibility to be mindful of your health status as well, right? Because they're taking this next journey with you. And if you're creating something together, you have to be mindful of all of the pieces that go along with that. Does that make sense? I hope that the message is coming through as clearly as I'm trying to express it. Clarify sleep. Judgment, yeah. Yeah. And the Warrior of Swords. But it came out in the reverse and the Eight of Cups. Clarify this Knight of Swords in the reverse. Ah, the King of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. There's a purpose, there's a mission that you're on, that you're aware of. This isn't something that if you don't have a clue what I'm speaking about, this may not be your reading. Feel free to check out any others on the page. But this is something that you're already aware of. This is something that you're already working towards. This is something that you have already built some sort of foundation of, right? Where you've had to shed um many things from your life. People, again, like experiences that you just kind of had to like put away. You've had to just kind of like let it go, in a sense of, if knowing that if you don't release it, it will just weigh you down. And so in order to remain light on your feet, right? You've kind of had to like self regenerate, like regenerate yourself. I'm trying to figure out how to express this in the clearest way possible. Give me one more card for Give me one more card. The Justice. Yeah. Yeah. Because what I was thinking was how your heart has to remain light as a feather, right? In order to that's kind of how your judgment is based, right? It's not based on how much you how much kindness you did, or how much you tried to reconnect, uh or fix the things that you've broken. It's measured by the weight of your heart. And you've managed to keep your heart as light as it can possibly be, to the degree that it is now. But again, this support system is coming to help you release the rest of that weight, right? What I'm hearing is like, cast your cares upon me, right? Cast your burdens on my step, right? It's almost as if like you're now going to have the space, you're now going to have the ability, you're now going to have the support to, and this is not you placing your trauma on someone else, but it's someone who has the ability to observe, to consult, to nurture, and to help heal, right? In a way that will make you almost feel like you're floating, is what I'm seeing. Like I'm seeing, almost like I'm seeing like your feet being lifted off the ground, like you're literally going to be swept off of your feet. The Queen of Pentacles. It's a bit of a heavy energy, but it's only heavy because it feels like you're carrying so much. But you carry it with such ease that it almost, to you, doesn't feel as heavy as it actually is. It's almost like you're carrying a ton around. But because you do it on a daily basis, you've built your strength up to be able to carry this weight. And so it doesn't feel as heavy to you as it would to someone who's not carrying as much as you are. And the support system that's coming in to help you release some of that weight is also going to help you to how can I put this into words? To tone and refine what it is that you're carrying, how you process it, how you navigate it, how you experience it, how you share it, right? Let's pull 4 cards to close this message out. I was not expecting such a heavy message, but it seems as though you're getting ready to experience a completely different version of yourself. You have been carrying this light within right? Walking in this light, but also carrying so much in your subconscious. But you don't let that part of you don't really shine a light on that on your subconscious. You kind of sit with that in the dark by yourself. And the support that's coming in is not only going to shine a light on that, but they're also going to sit in the darkness with you and allow you to process, navigate, and work through that so that you have the ability to completely release it, as opposed to, look, forgiveness, as opposed to blessings. Yeah, it's going to free you. It's going to free you. All right, one card for what we can learn as the major lesson surrounding this message. Reflection and celebration. I'm gonna have to cover the celebration card, but reflection and celebration came out. Celebration came out at the bottom of the deck. So truly, again, this is given the Four of Wands and the Two of Swords. This support system is somebody who not only can see you, but they also know what you've experienced, what you've gone through, because they may have experienced it as well. And so this is not a support system that's coming in to pass judgment. It's not a support system that's going to come to use your pain against you. It's a support system that is coming to show you that you are not the only one in the world. You are not the only one on this journey, on this path, who has experienced this. And it's almost as if like they're going to like because what I'm hearing is twice the misery is half the pain, right? And so because you two kind of mirror each other in this sense, they too will know how to help you in a way that is beneficial, right? This isn't just shared misery between two people who are bringing each other down. This is shared pain, shared experiences between two people who have learned how to make it work for themselves. And so they're going to help the other in areas that they have already excelled in so that their reflection can excel in that same way. Does that make sense? So areas that this person have learned to heal, they're going to help navigate you, and they're going to help you to navigate in those same ways, and vice versa, right? This is not a misery loves company type of situation. This is, we are building, changing, and growing cycles, one and the same. And you've learned certain lessons, and I've learned certain lessons. And together we will teach each other the lessons that we've learned so that we can continue to build a foundation that creates something healthy that suits the both of you. This isn't a one or the other type of thing. This is two people. I don't want to say codependency. It's more of interdependence, right? Two independent souls mirroring the other and learning how to refine the broken pieces of one another. Gosh, I'm hoping this is coming through as the way it's coming through, because it seems like it seems I really don't know how to express it. It seems very heavy because of what you may have experienced, but it also seems very light because of the way that you've learned to manage it, right? One card for the opportunities we can create surrounding this message. Intuition and curiosity, right? So yeah, again, remember when I said that you're going to have to learn how to um navigate what it's like to live in this space, right? So this is not you this is it's almost as if you're going to it's going to strengthen your intuition because you are going to have a clearer lens for your discernment, right? Because again, if you're operating from a space of pain, you're going to discern your perspective, your viewpoint, your vision is going to be guided or driven by that. But by you healing these wounds, but by you nurturing these things, these files, by you kind of revisiting these experiences, it's going to sharpen your intuition. It's going to sharpen your discernment because you won't be so guarded. You won't be so it's almost like widening your vision, right? Tunnel vision is good for certain things, but your peripheral is just as important. If you have tunnel vision, you're not operating from the perspective of your peripheral, right? And being able to see from your peripheral vision means that you have the ability to see things that are not coming at you head on, right? That they're coming at you from the sides. And so again, this is going to widen your vision and sharpen your focus, your discernment, your intuition, so that you have a better sense of clarity, so that you feel more comfortable exploring not only yourself, but other aspects of your life, right? Two, because it feels like the moment that you tend to these wounds, you'll be surprised at how quickly they heal. You'll be surprised at how quickly you see a different version of yourself. One card for what we can meditate on as the focus of this message. Learning and perceptive. Y'all, I'm not going to say it. Okay. I don't sit at this table to play with. Meditate on these lessons. Meditate on what you're being shown. Meditate on also because meditation is here, right? So again, like meditate on what you learn about yourself, what you learn about others, what you learn about these experiences that you are going to have to revisit, right? This is you becoming more comfortable with accepting all parts of yourself. And again, I'm not going to say that you have not accepted all parts of yourself because this feels like a very confident energy. You would not have gotten as far as you have up until this moment if you weren't comfortable accepting who you are, right? This feels like a very confident energy. This feels like you feel like someone who kind of perseveres no matter what challenges present themselves to you. But also acknowledging those experiences and not diminishing the value and the worth of those experiences and how they have impacted you is, in a sense, kind of diminishing the value of who you are, because you downplayed what you have went through just so that you can keep moving forward. Because if you acknowledge the true impact that it had on you, then you may just fall apart to the point where, at least that was kind of your perspective, right? It's kind of may have been like what you told yourself in order to keep moving forward. That if you truly acknowledge um, what you felt, it would cause you to fall apart, and you would no longer be inspired. You would no longer have the will to come as far as you've gone, right? And so meditating on facing these challenges and learning how to be open and willing to support will allow you to just be more aware of the true weight that you're carrying, right? Because and it's almost because you carry the weight so easily, not many people can truly see what you're carrying. But this support system that's coming in, there isn't much you can hide from this reflection that's coming in. Now, I don't know if this is a community of people. I don't know if this is um, a single person. However it resonates for you, whether this is a part of your family that you disconnected from, whether this is a romantic partner coming in, whether this is a new friend group that you are coming into contact with, whether this is you creating your own community, there's some support system that's coming in that's going to be able to see the weight that you're carrying. You're not going to be able to hide it, but they are going to. There may have been a point in time where you tried to open up, right? Where you tried to share the weight of what you were experiencing, and it wasn't received very well because maybe the people that you were trying to open up, uh, they just didn't have the same strength that you carry. And that doesn't mean that they were weak. It just means that you carry it differently, right? But this reflection that's coming in mirrors that same strength back to you. So they have the ability to carry, to see, to experience the same things that you have. So you're definitely going to have to learn how to sit with yourself, how to sit with others, and learn how to be vulnerable in an open space outside of yourself. One card for to and also it will help you to see things in a different way, in a different light, right? One card for the new cycles and habits we can innovate to contribute to our growth and expansion surrounding this message. Security, yeah. Safety, confidence, right? And then you've got curiosity, was at the bottom of the deck a second ago, but it came back out. I'm going to put it back. But awareness is at the bottom of the deck. So, and what was that tried to peace and shadow work, right? So there's surely this support that's coming in is it's safe for you to open up. It's safe for you to be vulnerable. It's safe for you to not be strong in one place, right? Because you're going to have the ability to lean on them without weakening them, right? Without being a liability to them, right? They have enough power to carry the both of you. And so do you. You have the same power and ability to carry them as well. So this is, again, it's going to be a shared experience between the two of you, or between the group, right? Quite a heavy message. Yeah, quite a heavy message. But that's the message that I have for you guys. I hope that it resonates. I know that if you made it to the end of this video, you have found something in it that is worthy and valuable to you. Thank you for watching. Bye.